Hello and good afternoon, everyone. I'm really glad to see you all gathering here today at our Sunday talks. I hope, we prepared a lot of things, so I hope you won't just enjoy listening, but also gain some new things, valuable things. And let me quickly walk you through today's plan. In the first part of our event, Miss Komila will introduce you some useful idioms for your speaking part, which can make your language rather more natural than textbook-like. So I strongly recommend you to listen to them and try to remember. After that, our second speaker, Ms. Mubina, will share her personal travel experience. She will, including the places she visited, challenges she faced, and the unforgettable memories she had. She will also give some useful advices and tips on how to make your journey and how to enjoy new culture to the fullest. And to conclude with, we will finish event with interesting game in which all guests may have opportunity to participate and play it in two teams, united. And now let's begin. Welcome our first speaker, Miss Komila.
So good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm really glad to see you all here. So today we'll talk about idioms and why idioms are important in your speaking. So first of all, I have to mention that idioms are really vital in your speaking, especially when you are going to take IELTS or CFR exams. Why they are important? Because they make your speech sound more natural and less like robotic or less like unnatural. That's why I advise you to learn as many idioms as possible to master your speaking. So today I'm going to show you some pictures or some stickers, and you are going to guess what kind of idiom is it. So now let's get started. So first picture. Can you guess the idiom by looking at these pictures and numbers? Any predictions? Over the moon? Similar. Where is she, people? Where is she? On cloud, and the number is 9. Yes, it means on cloud 9. On cloud 9, it means very happy. And instead of just saying very happy or delighted, you can use this idiom on cloud 9. For example, I think everyone feels on cloud 9 when they get 7 or 8 from IELTS, right? So now you are going to discuss one question with your partners, and the question is, when was the last time you felt on cloud 9? So now let's continue. Next idiom. Can you guess the idiom? To cost an arm and leg, yes. The meaning, which means to cost very expensive, yes. For example, the thing that you want to buy, if it's very expensive, so you can replace the word expensive with cost an arm and leg. For example, I really dreamed of buying a laptop, but it cost an arm and leg. So I had to spend all my savings to buy this laptop, which means it cost an arm and leg. So now you are going to answer the question, what was the last thing that you bought that cost an arm and leg? Okay, now let's continue, people. Next idiom. Cake, piece of cake, yes. Can you guess what does it mean, piece of cake? Easy, yes, very easy. So it's the thing that you find very easy. For example, I find learning English piece of cake, let's say. Do you find learning English piece of cake, people? No. For beginners, yes. For beginner level, yes. What about for IELTS? IELTS levels? No, yes. Okay, so now the question is, do you know something that you find piece of cake, that you find it to do piece of cake? So now people discuss with your partners, piece of cake. Something that you find piece of cake. Okay, thank you. Now let's continue. Next one. Once in a blue moon, not one moon, yes, once in a blue moon. Once in a blue moon means very rarely or almost never. Is there a thing that you do once in a blue moon, for example? Some students do their homework once in a blue moon, yes? When their teacher calls their parents, yes? So once in a blue moon is something you do very rarely. For example, I have a friend with whom I meet once in a blue moon because she is very busy, she has her own family and work. That's why she doesn't have much time to meet with me. So now, do you have a friend with whom you meet once in a blue moon? Okay, discuss with your partners again, discuss. Okay, so let's continue. Once in a blue moon, which means very rarely. Next picture. What are these? What do you think? What are these? Balls, yes, balls. Okay. Red between green, says. It means an oddball. An oddball, it's strange person that doesn't look like anyone else. For example, in your group, for example, or in your family, with your family members, there is someone who is an oddball. For example, my sister, my little sister in our family, I can say that she's an oddball because she doesn't look like neither my father nor my mom, and she has different interests and she has her own life, like own world. So I can say she's an oddball. So oddball is used to describe people. So do you want anyone, do you know anyone who's an oddball in your family, in your class, let's say, or in your group? Describe someone whom you find an oddball. So discuss together. Okay, so next idiom, people. Can you guess the idiom? Where are they? See, okay, in particular, on what? Boat, yes. It means to be in the same boat. To be in the same boat, it means to have a similar situation with someone else. For example, now let's imagine you are all Mr. Abbas students and you didn't do your homework and Mr. Abbas is going to call your parents. So now you are all in the same situation, which means you are in the same boat. Have you ever experienced a situation when you and all your friends were in the same boat? So now discuss with your partners. Have you ever faced the situation when you were in the same boat with your friends? Okay, next idiom. Behind. What kind of door? Closed door is behind the closed door. So what do you think? What does it mean behind the closed doors? Something in secret, yes? Secretly, discussing something secretly or doing something secretly, yes? Okay, so the question is, have you ever gossiped about someone behind the closed doors, yes? About someone. Like girls usually do this, yes? Behind the closed doors. Okay, so now discuss with your partners. Have you ever gossiped about someone behind closed doors, secretly? Gossiped about something. Okay, thank you, Miss Marika. So, next idiom. Can you guess the idiom? So, this is me, right? And I am teacher, okay, teacher. And the next picture? Cat, no. Generally, dogs, cats, pet, right? So the idiom is called teacher's pet, right? Teacher's pet. So teacher's pet, it means the favorite student of a teacher, so with whom they can like get on well with the teacher. So we call them teacher's pet. So favorite student of a teacher. Is there anyone in your class who is teacher's pet? So now discuss together. Discuss. So the next idiom, to spill the beans. To spill the beans, it means to tell someone's secret to another person in a mistaken way. Not deliberately, but mistakenly. So to spill the beans. For example, you are organizing a surprise party for your friend's birthday, and that that person doesn't know that it's a surprise party, and suddenly you talk about this surprise party, which means you spilled the beans, yes? So have you ever spilled the beans before someone's birthday party? So now discuss this with your friends. Have you ever spilled the beans, people? So the next idiom, to beat around the bush. To beat around the bush, it means to avoid talking about something, the main topic. For example, one of my students recently got their IELTS exam, and I'm asking the result of that person, like that student. And he's talking, oh, teacher, it was difficult, the examiner challenged me, and I'm telling, just don't beat around the bush and tell me what is your result, yes? So to beat around the bush, it means avoiding to talk about main topic. So next idiom. Can you guess the idiom, people? What is this? First picture. Flood, yes, flood. Second picture, crying baby in tears, yes. So it means to be in floods of tears. To be in floods of tears, it means to cry a lot. To cry a lot, yes, to be in floods of tears. So when was the last time you were in floods of tears? So discuss with your partners. So Razia, you are going to discuss with Rukhshana. You are together, okay? Come here. Okay, Mr. Sardar, when was the last time you were in floods of tears?
I'm the person who doesn't cry. That's why I have never been in floods of tears in my whole life.
So you will be in floods of tears after you get married then, yes? Okay, so next question. Next idiom is to burn the midnight oil. So to burn the midnight oil, it's very useful for useful idiom for you all because it means to do or to work, to do your homework or assignments at night before something very important, like working hard at night, doing your mock test, doing your practice test, all means burn the midnight oil before your exam, for example. So people, the question is, do you burn the midnight oil before your exams? So discuss with your partners, okay? Do you burn the midnight oil before exams? Okay, so next idiom, people. An awkward customer, right? An awkward customer. An awkward customer means a difficult person to deal with, that you can't deal with that person. Like the person always disagrees with you or doesn't want to do something with you, which means an awkward customer. Do you have or have you ever met anyone who was an awkward customer in your life? The difficult person to deal with in your life. Have you ever met such kind of person? So discuss with your partners. Okay, so next idiom. Can you guess, people? So first picture, what is this? Where are they? No, it's not happy kangaroo. They are in the party, yes. And the next picture, what is this? Animal, right? So we call it party animal. Party animal is the person who really enjoys parties, who never skips a wedding, a birthday party, and goes to every party. So we call such kind of person a party animal. So for example, I have a colleague who's a real party animal, and he always organizes parties and always attends all birthday or wedding parties. So he is a real party animal. So now the question is, do you have a friend who's a real party animal? So discuss with your partners.
For example, your event.
Your my event, yes, for example. Okay. It's me? Is it me, Abuzar? I'm not, I can say I'm not a party animal.
You are never skip the events.
Because this is event, not party. Looks like, yes? Okay. So, thank you, people. Well, this was the end of my presentation, and I want to say that they are really useful idioms if you can use them correctly in your speakings. And I'm sure that if you use them correctly in your IELTS or CFR exams, you can get higher score in your speaking section. And now I have prepared a handout so you can take it to your house as well and practice at home with your friends or with your group mates as well, so you can distribute Rukhsana. And thank you for your attention, people, and I'm glad that you tried to use these idioms today, and I hope you will use these idioms in your further exams as well. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Ms. Komila, for your useful and engaging presentation. I hope everyone found those idioms helpful, and you will try to use them in your own speaking. You mentioned that not all idioms are logical, but so they should just need to be learned by heart. At the same time, even small expression can make a big difference in how natural and confident you sound. Now let's move to the second speaker, Ms. Mubina, who will share her personal travel experience. She will take you with her on the journey through the places she has visited and talk about her memorable events and give some advices. Please give her a warm welcome.
Thank you.